Another tips and trick video in HTML CSS. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a table in your coding. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we are going to create the table tag. So that's an open tag, and TR, which is our row, or our rows in our table. And then we have our TH, which are our items inside of our cells. So I could do something like first name, and close out that cell, and then I could do something like last name. Again, I'll close out that tag itself. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out that row. So I'm going to move out down to a new row. And in that new row, I could do, again, TD, and TD in this example would be my next cell. The TH would be a cell header, and the TH would just be a TD would be just a standard. So I could do Bob, and I'm going to close that tag out for the first name, just like I have been doing with that TD for that normal cell. And my last name for Bob is going to be Builder. Again, I'm going to close that tag out. So as we can see, I'm going to close out my TR for my row. Backslash TR for my row. And I realized I never opened up my new row. So I'm going to come back up here and start my new row. Then I close it out. So if I refresh now, we should be able to see that my first name, last name, which is my cell header, first name, last name, and then I have my standard opened row, and then I close that, or put the names in there and then close my row. If I come over to my style sheet, well, what am I styling? I'm styling my table, I'm styling my header for my table and my table cells, and I'm going to open up my bracket on this. And what could I do? I could style the border of this. So let's put a border around my table. My border, let's give it a 5 pixel width, and we could do my border color. Let's do that as black, and I can close this out. I should be able to refresh and save. Actually, my that should be border width, not just border. So I should go to border width and then 5 pixels. Or we can define it as in words like in code.org. And I'm not quite sure why we're not working at this point. So I've defined my border of my table. My border is in black. Let's try defining it another way. Let's go back to how I originally had it. Let's define it as 5 pixels. Let's go and let's type in our color as being solid black. And I can get rid of my border rule down here. I can close that out, and we can see I have my 5 pixel line around it. If I were to change this down to 2 pixels, obviously we could see the border